Hello students, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are going to study the role of the macro and micronutrient. We know very well, total 9 macronutrient are there, 8 is micro. In that 9, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen is obtained from the carbon dioxide and water, and they are non-mineral forms. Okay, remaining all are obtained from the soil in the form of mineral nutrition. So we are first starting with the macronutrient. So nitrogen, NPK, okay, and then calcium, manganese, sulfur. This learning tips I tried to give you in the previous video for the macronutrient, leaving CHO. So now I'm discussing all this. So first of all, see for nitrogen, question area, it is the essential nutrient which is required in the greatest amount. If they ask you which macronutrient is required in the greatest amount, already it is macro, but then also it is required in the greatest amount is nitrogen. Now it is absorbed by the plants in the form of nitrate. Though some can take nitrite also, this is nitrite, or some can absorb in the form of ammonium ions. Okay, so it can be absorbed as, you can make a note this way, absorbed as nitrate. It can be absorbed as nitrite and can be absorbed as ammonium ions. So this is the mineral ion which can be absorbed in the plus form as well as minus form, means cationic form and ionic form both. It is required by all the part of the plant, especially meristematic tissues are requiring it and metabolically active. So you can write here meristematic tissue, which are dividing, and metabolically active, which are actually having the more enzyme work. It is constituent of protein. So remember beta, 4 biomolecules, carbohydrate does not have nitrogen, fat does not have nitrogen. Nitrogen is present in the protein and nucleic acid. So these two, okay. And then hormones are also protein and few vitamins. So you can just write it is an important constituent of protein, nucleic acid, vitamins, and hormones. Now from this, I just want to focus one more thing, beta. Let me show you that area also. Now see, beta, very important. It is not only constituent of protein, nucleic acids, vitamin, and hormone. Obviously, proteins are made up of amino acids. It is also constituent of chlorophyll here. This is the which I wanted to show you. Protein, it is given there, hormone is given there, vitamin is given there, but chlorophyll is not given. The student think it from where this question came. Please, it is from here. Up till here, clear, beta? So it is the most prevalent element in living organisms, apart from carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, though they are there. But after that, nitrogen is the most prevalent. Okay, now if you see, plant compete with microbes for limited nitrogen that is available in the soil. So in the soil, limited amount of nitrogen is available. So both plants and microbes has to compete for their growth. They want the nitrogen for their own cell work. So the nitrogen is a limiting nutrient for both natural and agricultural ecosystem. Please, it's very important. Is it clear, beta? I hope this much topic is clear to you. Now see, next is phosphorus. Phosphorus is absorbed as, so you can write here again, it is absorbed as H2PO4 minus or HPO4 2 minus. Means it is always absorbed only in the negative ion form. And phosphorus is present, if you know cell membrane. Cell membrane, we say it is made up of phospholipid and protein. So it is a constituent of cell membrane. Okay, so it is a constituent of cell membrane. Then proteins are having the phosphorus, certain proteins. Not all protein, okay, that is why I'm focusing certain proteins. But all nucleic acid will have it, whether DNA or RNA, all are having it. Nucleic acid is a polymer of nucleotide. And obviously ATP means wherever phosphate formation is going on, either ATP formation or ADP formation, so all phosphorylating reaction, phosphorus is required. So it is absorbed as, and what it is constituent, you should remember that area. Now potassium. The potassium is absorbed in the form of K plus ion. It is also required by the meristematic tissue. Now try to synchronize the area beta, please. If you see, meristematic tissue was given here for nitrogen also. And meristematic tissue is given for potassium. It is required by the meristematic tissue. It is required by the buds, leaf, and root tip. Okay, root tip. It maintains anion-cation balance in the cells, responsible for opening and closing of stomata. Opening and closing of stomata, it means it helps in maintaining the turgidity of the cells. Clear? Potassium is also involved in protein synthesis, and it is also responsible for activation of few enzymes. So you can just make a note. If first absorbed is, and second you should make it present where, and third it is functions. What are the functions it is doing it? Clear, beta? Now for calcium. Calcium, if you see, it is absorbed in the form of Ca plus. It is absorbed in the form of Ca2 plus. It is also required by meristematic tissue and differentiating tissue, both. Meristematic tissues are those tissues which have got power of division, and differentiating tissues means they are now going to differentiate as epidermis or cortex, means they are going to make as parenchyma, collenchyma, so that they can make into the spatial layers. So this is again important area. Now when they are for meristematic, obviously it means cell division. They are used in the synthesis of cell wall. Which cell wall? Middle lamella, because middle lamella is having calcium pectate. Clear, beta? When I'm saying cell division, obviously it is also needed to make spindle fiber, because a spindle fiber is made with the help of microtubules, and for assembly of microtubules you want the help of calcium. Calcium is very important mineral ion. Clear, beta? So it is necessary for the assembly of the microtubule. Calcium is immobile, that is why it accumulates in the older leaf. It accumulates in the older part because it is immobile. It is also involved in the normal functioning of the cell membrane. It will activate many enzymes and plays important role in regulating metabolic activities. Many metabolic activities are controlled by calcium. So beta, just revise up till here. I think so this much you will find it's easy now, the way I'm trying to highlight it. Now next is magnesium. Mg2 plus, it is absorbed. It is a divalent. It activates the enzyme of respiration. Many respiratory enzymes, means generally all the glycolysis enzymes, Krebs cycle enzyme, it is activating it. It is activating the enzyme for photosynthesis also. We have seen Rubisco, pepcase. Okay, it is also required for the synthesis of DNA and RNA. Please, it's very important. Synthesis of DNA means replication. Synthesis of RNA means transcription. It is also important structure of the chlorophyll. It is magnesium is important structure of chlorophyll. And when the magnesium is there, then the ribosomal subunit will be combined together to form ribosomes. You know very well, ribosome, if suppose 80S, it is having two subunits, 60S and 40S, and these two subunits will come together only, it depends upon the magnesium concentration. That is why we say it helps to maintain ribosome structure. So I hope so, beta, this much is helping you to learn each and everything I'm trying to focus better. Next is sulfur. Sulfur is present in the form of sulfate ions, SO4 minus. And sulfur, two amino acids are containing sulfur, that is methionine and cysteine. So they are present in two amino acids, that is cysteine and methionine. It is constituent of several coenzymes like your coenzyme A. So like your coenzyme A, and vitamin like your thiamine and biotin. So please focus the way I'm highlighting it. Coenzyme example is your coenzyme A, and vitamin example is your thymine, and biotin. Apart from this, sulfur is also constituent of pyridoxine. That is why in the respiration beta ETS, we are always using FES. Okay, this pyridoxine we'll be using in the photosynthesis, in this transportation, ETS. ETS is non-cyclic electron transport. We will say pyridoxine. So there the sulfur is a constituent. So I think so this much macronutrient you might have learned better. Just revise, please learn it properly. Clear? Now let me start with the micronutrient. Now see micronutrient. Okay. Now we are focusing on micronutrient. Iron. First micronutrient we are taking iron. Now if you see, first of all, this was again PMT question, but it was asked in the PMT. Iron is obtained, plant is obtaining iron in which form? Please remember it is obtaining iron in ferric iron form. Means Fe3+. Please remember plant is obtaining iron in Fe3+ stage. Is it clear, beta? Then this is the mineral iron, which is, though it is micronutrient, but then also it is required in the greatest amount as compared to other micronutrient. So it is required in the larger amount in comparison to the other micronutrient. Please, this is again important question area. Now, iron, I told you we will be studying the iron. We have studied the iron in the electron transport, in the respiration, then in the photophosphorylation, also in the photosynthesis. So it is an important constituent of proteins which are involved in the transfer of electron like pyridoxine and cytochrome. Okay, so cytochrome we have already studied in the respiration beta, and pyridoxine we have studied in the photosynthesis. It can be oxidized from Fe2+ to Fe3+. That is why it is used during electron transfer, because it is reversibly oxidized. Now it is activating which enzyme beta? It is going to activate catalase enzyme. Please focus, it is going to activate catalase enzyme. And it is also essential for the formation of chlorophyll. So beta, if we want, see carefully, for chlorophyll, how many mineral ions we have studied up till here? I think so we studied for chlorophyll, first of all, magnesium is necessary. And second, now we are focusing, iron is necessary. Clear beta? So for chlorophyll, 2 mineral ions, magnesium for the center and iron is essential for the formation of chlorophyll. Next mineral ion we are focusing is on manganese. Manganese, if you see, it is obtained in the plant is absorbing in the form of manganese ions. Please focus with manganese ions, Mn2+. It is also activating many enzymes. Okay, and the best defined function of the things, best defined function is actually, we can say, photolysis of water. Photolysis of water means splitting of water to liberate oxygen during photosynthesis. This is the best defined function. And it is also an activator for many enzymes involved in photosynthesis, respiration, and nitrogen metabolism. Clear? Next mineral ion is zinc. Zinc, if you see, it is obtained in the form of Zn2+. It is obtained in the form of Zn2+, and zinc is an activator of an enzyme. It's an activator of an enzyme catalase. It activates, carboxylase. It activates carboxylase. So let us write till now whatever activator we have learned. Activators of enzyme. It will be a revision for you. We have studied Rubisco, pepcase. Remember beta? For them the activator was magnesium ion. Alcohol dehydrogenase. Activator is zinc. Nitrogenase. Activator is molybdenum. Molybdenum ion. Then catalase. Better check in the iron area. I'm on the iron area. Catalase, iron. Carboxylase. Carboxylase answer is zinc. Clear, beta? So this is the way you can make the list of the NCERT, and slowly you will try to find, yes, you are able to learn it easy way now. Now zinc, if you know very well, zinc is actually required for the synthesis of oxygen. So zinc is required for synthesis of oxygen. Now next mineral ion is copper. Copper is absorbed as Cu2 plus. Please remember, iron as Fe3 plus, copper as Cu2 plus. Okay, beta. Even copper can be also reversely oxidized, just like iron, from +1 to +2, and iron from +2 to +3. Clear, beta? So it is also involved in the redox reaction, and it is necessary for overall, we will say it is essential for overall metabolism in plant. Next is boron. Next is boron. So next mineral ion is boron. Now boron is absorbed in the form of, it is absorbed in the form of C beta C here, 3 minus, or B4O7, 2 minus. So I think so this much you are able to understand how to learn it, okay? Now boron is required for what? It is required for the uptake of calcium and use of calcium. It is required for pollen germination, very important. It is required for cell elongation, cell differentiation. If you remember, we studied differentiating tissues. Calcium is necessary, and calcium uptake and utilization is done with the help of boron only. Clear, beta? And it is also responsible for carbohydrate translocation. Very important. Boron functions are, please, very important. They can frame the question. It is also necessary for membrane functioning. The boron is required for uptake and utilization of calcium ion. And if you remember in the previous page, go and check better, calcium is required in the meristematic and differentiating tissue. And differentiating tissue differentiation will come after the cell has passed the elongation phase. It means boron is the one which is helping in the membrane functioning, because elongation is going on. So we will say cell elongation, then cell differentiation. Is it clear? Pollen germination means pollen tube is coming and pollen tube grows. So because of cell elongation concept. Next mineral ion which is required is molybdenum. Plant is obtaining in the form of molybdate ions. It is obtaining in the form of molybdate ions. Clear, beta? It is component of several enzymes, including nitrogenase and nitrate reductase. Beta, which enzyme? Nitrogenase and nitrate reductase. It's a component. So we will add here nitrogenase. I should do one thing, but just 1 minute. We should not write this way. We should do one thing. We should add it down. Component for nitrogenase and for nitrate reductase. For both them, the component is molybdenum. Clear, beta? Nitrate reductase is the enzyme which is used to convert nitrate into ammonia. And nitrogenase is an enzyme which is going to convert nitrogen into ammonia. This you are going to study in the nitrogen cycle. Please check my nitrogen cycle video to understand the difference between the two. Now, last mineral ion, which is last is chlorine. It is absorbed in the form of chlorate ions. This one, chloride anion. Okay, negative charge means anion. So they can ask you the question, which is absorbed in the anionic form, which is absorbed in the cationic form, which is absorbed in the both. This way they can ask you the question. And chlorine along with the potassium and sodium help in maintaining the anion-cation balance. It is also essential for water splitting. Water splitting, if you remember, we have studied manganese. Please focus, beta. Manganese is the one which is responsible for splitting of water. And along with the manganese, now chlorine, we are telling the splitting for water. So both are the one which are participating for the splitting of water molecule, which led to the oxygen evolution. Is it clear? And along with the sodium and potassium, it is maintaining the solute concentration, means anion cation balance, which is responsible for osmotic potential. So I hope so this video has helped you to learn the role of macro and micronutrient better. Each and every word I try to focus it, try to learn it better. This is a scoring area. And if in the NEET they ask you the question, it's very much a scoring. Generally, the student get confused here. Magna science, please learn this also. Learn properly. Cupric is 2 plus. Ferric is 3 plus. Okay, beta. Boron, all these absorption form, please learn it. Thanks for watching, beta. Thanks.